Hello guys, David Vos here. Beautiful day in Oklahoma today, a little cloudy, still nice and warm. Hope you're having a wonderful day where you are. Friends, I'd like to have you listen to something, please, just for a minute. And then I'd like to talk to you about this, because I think it's really, really, really frightening. What this man is saying is going to explain a whole lot of stuff. If you really want to know what's going on, we're going to show you today. Listen to what Elon Musk says here.
AI doesn't have to be evil to destroy humanity. If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to be in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course, without even thinking about it. No hard feelings. It's just like if we're building a road and an anthill happens to be in the way, we don't hate ants. We're just building a road. And so goodbye anthill.
Okay, guys. Well, on the face of what we just played, it's pretty disturbing. Just right on the face of it. But if you really analyze what this man is saying, it becomes a possibility in your mind. You begin to try to make sense of why someone would say something like that. Yeah, sure. Some guy drinking a beer in his living room might say something like that. But this is a man who's doing that. He's making the Neuralink. He's telling us that it's going to kill us. But then he gives us a little perspective. He says, if you were a human and you wanted to build a road and there was an ant farm in your way, it would be no problem. They mean nothing to humans. We will destroy their habitat. We will plow right through that ant farm and goodbye ants. Well, now we've got a better perspective what this man is really saying. He is saying that it will be a tragedy. He's always, very, very solemn and, it's a terrible thing, but mankind's got to go. If he really believes that we're all going to perish, why would he want to go ahead and join him if you can't beat him? Why wouldn't he fight tooth and nail to destroy the forces of evil that are coming upon the world to destroy mankind, this little ant farm? Why is he so quickly given in and decided to join him? Isn't it possible that what he is actually saying is that he himself is not part of this ant farm? He doesn't have a lot of expression. We showed that thing on Saturday Night Live that he did a while back where he said he was not a human being. And I'm going to show you that he actually has said it again in such a way that it's hard to deny that he is now saying publicly in many formats he is not a human being, and he doesn't act like one because his thought process seems to be quite a bit lagging. His expressions, his nomenclature, or how he expresses, he wants to look like he's human, but he's really appears to be more like a robot trying to imitate humanity and then give us the spiel that, well, look, there's nothing we can do. We're going to have to destroy you. No hard feelings. If you don't believe what I just said, I want to show you something else. A little bit more information will help. Listen to this, please.
But you must understand there's not a whole lot of human beings like you. You know that, right? So you're an oddity.
Seems, yes.
To chimps like me.
We're all chimps.
Yeah, we are.
We're one notch above a chimp.
Some of us are a little more confused. When I watch you doing all these things, I'm like, how does this motherfucker have all this time and all this energy and all these ideas, and then people just let him do these things?
Because I'm an alien.
That's what I've speculated.
Yes.
I'm on record saying this in the past. I wonder.
It's true.
I mean, if there was one, I was like, if there was like maybe an intelligent being that we created, like some AI creature that's superior to people, maybe it'd just hang around with us for a little while like you've been doing and then fix a bunch of shit. Maybe that's the way.
Wow. Guys, there are a lot of things just in that one statement, just in that little clip that we just played, that is incomprehensible when you think about it. First of all, besides the fact that he just admitted to be an alien, and there was no laughter, not on Joe's part or Elon. There was no laughter. They were serious. It sounded like it. I know that sometimes people act serious when it's, some kind of sarcasm or joke. But there never was any joke. It never did lead to any laughter. In fact, he just continued to reinforce the point. And when he was asked, about it, he said, yes, it's true. First he said, yes, I'm an alien. Then he said, yes, it's true. I mean, he didn't say, oh, just kidding. But, okay, so we can't prove that he's an alien because he said so. But it raises the eyebrow. And when he begins to say it several times, he said it on Saturday Night Live. We played that for you a while back. But something else is going on here that I noticed. The person that he's going on their program to sort of out himself, in other words, in a sarcastic way, so that people won't really believe him, but he can always say he told us the truth. And if you listen to everything he said, it's obvious that he's telling us from the perspective of an alien, from an outsider. That's, I think, why he uses the word alien. He's not of this planet. He's not of us. I do think there may be he says here further some information that will really bring a lot of light onto the situation. He says he does think he may have a mutation. Now, I don't know what he meant by that, but I think if he's saying, look, I might be part human, but I'm a human with a mutation, which he's trying to say is an upgrade, kind of like, in the movies Iron Man, they sort of mutate, or Transformers, right? Is that what he thinks he is? There's certainly a lot of questionable things that he's saying, things that literally you would have to conclude that's what he's saying. I mean, he's saying it over and over again. Not just about himself, but about what he's doing. About the fact that he's going from, a few billion to 300 billion in just a matter of a few months. The fact that we know we're in the last days, that his name is Elon, which means the Most High. I don't know if we'll be able to get every point packed into this video, but I want, if I can, to present all the evidence, because there's a lot of evidence that starts with something that has nothing to do with Elon, but yet I think is connected. Number one, it's Joe Rogan. Who is this man? See, all of a sudden, remember, everything that's on the radio is a psyop. Just recently, I think it was Neil Young. Some of you old timers will know who he is. He used to write songs and sing and stuff. But and of course, he's part of this big family. There's these individuals that are always on camera, right? The actors. He's one of these actors. You know what we're talking about. Part of the family. You know what I mean? Huh? Okay. So he says, look, I'm taking my songs off of Spotify, which is what Joe Rogan is now on. He's on this thing called Spotify, which I don't even know what that is. All I'm doing is sitting here on my phone. I've got Facebook and YouTube. I'm not sure what Spotify is, but I'm sure it's some huge thing that's getting Joe Rogan worldwide fame and popularity, and he's got the biggest podcast in the world. But they're promoting him now. Now, wait a minute. Joe Rogan is a guy that everybody kind of likes, right? He's into sports. I mean, who doesn't like sports, right? And and the fear factor. And he's famous. He's been around a while and everybody likes him. And I think they've made a deal, I do believe it's funny because he's befriending Alex Jones. We talked about Alex Jones possibly being control opposition. I'm not sure about that. Okay, but there's a lot of things we got to consider. Here's what I do know. They are using Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is now interviewing this Elon. It's like an event. They're preparing their let's meet Elon, right? On the great Spotify channel of the beloved chosen one, Joe Rogan, that we've all got to listen to. See, if you start saying things they don't want you to say, then you're not going to be on there. Why would they use Joe Rogan? He's starting to say things like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do the VAX. he's starting to say maybe we shouldn't get the SHOT. And so we say, well, this is crazy. I guess there's, no control. We've got freedom. And look, Joe Rogan can say what he wants. No. You see, everybody's already got the SHOT. Remember they go to chaos first, and then the world's like scared. There's a problem, chaos, and they supply the solution. Trump is the solution. Elon Musk is the solution. There's the bad guys that are doing this terrible AI to you. And Elon's trying to battle against them to save us. But in reality, he's telling you, this is all a setup. I'm just here to calm you down and to tell you, look, it's going to happen. You're going to get used to it. It's going to transform mankind, but I don't believe for the better. But I do believe that they are setting us up. This Biden is the scapegoat. He's the old McGoogle or McDougal, shall we say, who's bumbling around, walking into walls, walking off of precipices, and landing on his feet. And we'll just blame everything on him and Pelosi, the bumbling idiots, the senile, crazy socialists that they put in the White House and in other places around the world as propaganda pieces, mouthpieces. But it was all to demonstrate to the world how crazy it would be if we tried to get rid of police, if we tried to get rid of government. Why, you've got to be under law, or look at what happens. We'll show you what happens. Chaos, riots, mayhem. Okay, now we want Trump back. Please give us an SHOT. Why, we'll be good. We just don't want violence. We don't want to die. We're scared. Oh, the father of the thing is going to become the next president, the last president. And there are certain individuals that we're being prepared to love, yes, nay, worship. And I will prove that, I believe, to any sane person. Just keep watching.
I might have some mutation or something like that.
You might. Do you think you do?
Probably.
Do you wonder? Like, you're around normal people, you're like, You're like, what's up with these boring, dumb motherfuckers? Ever?
Not bad for a human, but I think we will not be able to hold a candle to AI.
You scare the shit out of me when you talk about AI, between you and Sam Harris.
See, guys, they know that we're not going to just accept this new world order without them trying to calm us down and keep us calm as they implement it. Instead of us going out in the streets and rioting, they're going to fake riot about things we don't even care about. Well, we'll have people rioting to get rid of the police. We'll have people rioting for more money, free money, more socialism, more communism, more war, or more prisons, more abortions, yes, please, more Planned Parenthood, and more Jenna cider. But, you see, then the peasants are peering out through their windows into the streets and saying, what the hell's going on, all the riots? And what are they rioting about? We don't want these things that they're saying we want. But they've taken over the show. We're bystanders. Everything's happening on stage. But none of it is real. It's just we're watching, supposedly, we're all clamoring for some new world order, right? Oh, we just gotta have it. No. That's like saying the children just went out and played in the street. That's what they like to do. And I don't know what to do. They just run out there and play in the street every day. I just don't know what to do. I open the door and there they go. Well, how about you tell them, you are not going outside if you're going to play in the street. If you love your children, you do not let them play in the street. I'm sorry. You don't allow that. Okay? If there's rioters tearing down our country and you're just going to, well, here's the thing. Like I said, these people that are rioting are the controlled opposition. They're not even rioting for the right reasons. And so, we have people like, I don't know, maybe individuals, whoever they may be, that are controlled opposition that are saying things. But what are they saying? Well, they know that there's some critical things we're going to have to deal with, like this AI and the New World Order, so they're going to talk about it. Let's bring on the AI himself, right? Because he's got all the answers. And he's going to say, well, now listen, I understand you guys don't want to die. And this, I tried. I fought long and hard to stop, to stop it so that, you guys could live. But hey, if we can't join them, let's beat them. I'm going to, woe is me. I guess we're all going to be assimilated into the computer. And here's why. But by the way, I'm an alien. Yes, it's true. And you people, you ants, I'm sorry. No hard feelings, right? But we got to let you go. I'm sorry. Bye-bye. With a big smile, or without a smile. He doesn't usually smile much. You know why? Robots can't smile, friends. Yeah, go look that up on the internet. You'll find that a robot, they've not perfected the facial muscles, movements and stuff of smiles and frowns and to be human, to look human is something they're struggling with. I think that's why Elon Musk is very robotic. But you've got to keep listening because this gets even more frightening.
It's just outside of human control. Now, the thing that's going to be tricky here is that it's going to be very tempting to use AI as a weapon. It's going to be very tempting. In fact, it will be used as a weapon. So the on-ramp to serious AI, the danger is going to be more humans using it against each other, I think, most likely. That'll be the danger. Yeah.
Notice he doesn't say it's outside of our control. He says it's outside of human control. Earlier, he said, we're ants, and we're in the way. Okay? Humans are like ants. Because somebody's trying to build a superhighway through here. And so we're going to have to get rid of the humans. No hard feelings. Okay? He says this. Here, he continues to insert these words. It's out of your control, you humans. But he says it will be very tempting to use AI as a weapon. But if you really think about what he's saying, if this thing would destroy all mankind if we used it, then why would humans use it? I mean, it'd be like using a gun to shoot your neighbor that had another barrel pointing back at itself. Humans wouldn't do this. We didn't do this. So this has nothing to do with humans using it against humans. We're not in control of AI. They are. So this is ridiculous. It's just double speak. He's not really trying to help us here. He's just trying to explain why we can't do anything about it. And then he says, not only is it going to be tempting, but he says it will be. Now, how come he knows so much? Why does he know that it will be? Well, because he's so smart, Dave, and he's trying to help us. Well, he's so smart. As I said, why don't he just keep working diligently to stop it? Why is he giving up so quick? Why is he joining him? Why does he act like a robot? Why does he say it will be used as a weapon? Well, I'll tell you why, friends. Because everything on the television is a stage, and he is announcing the kingdom of Satan and your demise. He is telling you why we've got to let you go. No hard feelings. We're much superior. And you see, then wait till you find out the plan as to what they're really going to use humans for. We are building a higher artificial intelligence, but we're just sort of a computer bank. We're not human. We can't save the human soul. We're just going to use the humans to build a bigger and better artificial intelligence that's going to destroy humans. Sorry, guys. You're just in the way of progress. Really listen to what Elon is saying here, guys.
And then there are sort of is there sort of like a collective AI in the Google sort of Google search, where we're all sort of plugged in as like nodes on the network, like leaves on a big tree. And we're all feeding this network without questions and answers. We're all collectively programming the AI, and and Google plus all the humans that connect to it are one giant cybernetic collective. This is also true of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all these social networks. They're giant cybernetic collectives.
Humans and electronics all interfacing and constantly connected.
Yes. Constantly.
Now, guys, you might be tempted to believe that this very robotic personality that seems to have all these answers, which aren't really scientific answers, they're just reasons why we've got to do the AI. Just reasons why we've got to, go to Mars, and why we've got to be a collective and be assimilated into the multi-universe, the megaverse, and, there's dangers. Of course, he's pointing out all the dangers. But you see, he's also telling us not to worry. There's nothing you can do about it. Sorry, you're an ant pile. We're going to mow right over you, and we're going to assimilate you. And he even tells you how they're doing it. They've been doing this for years. They set up Facebook. They set up the Google search. They got the GPS. They know where you're at. They've been tracking you for a long time. You've been already programming the great AI. It is the Alexa. It is the computer that knows everything. And he says later on here, he's going to say, you're already a cyborg. Well, then he's saying that we're already a cyborg to the Goggle brothers. They already have control of your life. And of course, they're not the top of the pyramid. They're just a worker, but there's somebody above him, the great all-seeing eye, which is AI. And who controls that? Well, he's not telling you, but he is saying he's not alien. And Joe Rogan, the official spokesperson, is saying, you don't look human. I said a long time ago, you're an alien, and I was right. And he says, yes, it's true. I'm not human. I'm an alien. He went on Saturday Night Live and said so. He acts like an alien. His facial features, he never smiles. Robots do not smile. And he's telling you that they set this up. First of all, he's saying, there's nothing you can do about it. Well, why? Because we're playing to your most base, carnal, animalistic nature. Fed by the lymphatic system, he says. We'll show you that quote. I think I'll be able to add that to this and let you hear that. I don't want to put too many of his clips or quotes on here because I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. But he mentions that our body we've got the cerebral cortex, and then we've got this lymphatic system. And he says the lymphatic system is really what the cortex is trying to feed right now. Just to keep us breathing, just to keep us eating, make sure that we're happy, that we're not dying or whatever. That's all that our great brain is doing, he says. But he wants to take that lymphatic system. Well, this is what he's saying is happening. It's almost as if he planned it, right? Him and the boys, right? Whoever they're taking over. They took and they made the Goggle Brother systems and the GPS and stuff. They've been monitoring us, and they've been uploading our emotions and our desires and our base lustful nature. What do we want? It's all commercialism. In other words, we're building an AI based on our pornographic needs, based on our buying and selling needs, right? See how many lies we can tell each other to get them to purchase a product that they shouldn't have had in the first place. This is what we're building the great AI on. Our lymphatic system, which has already been programmed for many years with this pornography and this selfishness and this violence and this hatred. They're doing it on purpose. It's like there is a higher power that came here, and he's like the spokesman, and he's saying, look, you guys are just ants. I'd like to save you, but you're just not, your system's just lustful and biological, this nasty little thing. We're going to have to get rid of it. I think it's optional for you to be a biological person. Or I think what we need is just to use your brain to build a big AI, which of course is going to end up killing you. But that's all right. If you can't beat them, join them. And guess what? I've got a wonderful Neuralink. Would you like to purchase it? $19.99, buddy. Oh, you'll love it. You can have all the pleasure you want. And it will destroy you with a big smile that he doesn't have because he can't smile because he's a robot. But it's in there, right? He's just giggling all the way to the bank. My goodness, friends, listen to the way he describes this.
It feels like we are the biological bootloader for AI, effectively. We are building it. And then we're building progressively greater intelligence. And the percentage of intelligence that is not human is increasing. And eventually, we will represent a very small percentage of intelligence. But the AI is informed, strangely, by the human limbic system. It is, in large part, our id writ large.
So he says, we're building AI. We're building it. And technically that's true. It's like this robot can't lie, but he's just misinforming you. We are building it with our lymphatic system. In other words, our biological needs. Sex, violence, food at any cost, power, greed, pleasure. We're building it. But you see, who put the link in our head to download our most basic instinctual biological needs into an AI that will then control us? The scriptures tell us we need to be spiritual and not be materialistic. But now what we're going to do is go wholly over to the materialism. We're going to be controlled, not just from instinctual lusts that we can overcome because we have truth and philosophy and we can engender love and we have something that, we care about, which is eternal life. We can think, we can use logic and reason, but that's going to be bypassed. And he knows it. And he's not going to do anything about it, but he's going to explain to us what's happening and then tell us there's nothing we can do about it because we're building it. Well, it's kind of like saying, look, you dumb ants, right? It's your fault that we built this computer and then used your little, hardwired it to your brain and it got uploaded into our computer that you had nothing to do with, which then destroyed you. So it's your fault because you're ants and here we are trying to implement our world around you, but you were in our way, so it's your fault. Does that make sense, guys? That's what he's saying. If you don't believe me, listen further.
This is in some measure like it's the success of these online systems is sort of a function of how much limbic resonance they're able to achieve with people.
That they're able to achieve with people. Okay, I know who people are. He's just explained that. All of us. We're all on Facebook and they're using our lymphatic system to upload our most biological and base lower instinctual desires into an artificial intelligence that's going to learn from this as to how to act and be. And of course, humans are not important because in our minds, it's all about war and death for thousands of years. And this is coming from this lower fear that's deep inside of us that originally was built inside of us to help us to avoid fear, right? To make adrenaline so we could run. But we had this other part of us that was philosophy and logic, and we were able to think and read books and smile and love one another and see the beautiful world around us. But we're not going to be able to see the beautiful world around us anymore. We're going to be stuck inside of a computer looking at avatars. And these avatars are going to be the ones that are being built from our most instinctual, biological, base, fearful, diabolical nature. But who, I'm asking, is they? I know who the people are. Who are they trying to get some sort of lymphatic resonance with the people? Who are they? They're not the people. Are they? Is he saying the companies? Well, he's got, seems like the largest company that's trying to do this. And he says he's an alien. So it's appropriate probably then that he says they. You know, obviously he wouldn't want to just spill the beans and say us against you. But he's saying they are going to assimilate you into AI by using a resonant, a lymphatic resonance, meaning they're going to upload and program this AI based on your most base, vile nature, your lymphatic nature, which is biological. But it'll eventually lead to getting rid of the biology, as he says here, and will be uploaded into the computer, into any avatar we want. And there won't be any more need for this stupid world and your little avatar. Well, it sounds a little bit like the transformation that as Christians we're going to be with Jesus and we're going to be changed in the twinkling of an eye. But this seems to me like the diabolical system, the other system proposed by Satan. I certainly am not going to be uploaded into anything until I see the Lord standing there face to face, because we'll all see eye to eye when he brings back Zion, and every eye will see him and every tongue will confess. But you see, this does not look to me like the coming of Christ, but the coming of the Antichrist. And you might say the beast, or the image, or the icon, or the avatar of the beast that they bring to life by breathing it into it some sort of energy or life so that it may speak. And all the world shall say, who is the beast and who can do battle with it? Right? It's got so much power and we all must obey. And no matter who you are, you must get down on your knees and worship the beast and receive the number of his name in your forehead or in your hand, or you will not be able to buy or sell unless you have the mark of the beast. Friends, that's exactly what this man is doing. And he's going to have a little help with this other man right here. And he truly will be the last president of this old rotten world. I am completely convinced that that man and Elon Musk and many of these other characters are playing roles. They're trying to get you to believe that you have to go to the new system because the old system is crumbling around you and there's no other hope. They want you to be afraid, be very, very afraid. And if you're so afraid that you're afraid you're going to die, that means you don't have faith in Jesus. Why, where is this promised presence of his coming? For since our forefathers fell asleep in death, all things continue as they have been. And they go out and they begin to beat their fellow servants. They're afraid. They join the system of Big Brother. And, you know, we've got to have laws and more prisons, and let's get rid of these bags of biology that we don't need anymore. We're all being assimilated into the beast so that we can all buy and sell as one with the nature of the beast and not the nature of the divine that is within us. Be very careful, my friends. Be very careful and pay very close attention.
But one thing is for sure, we will not control it.
Do you think that it's likely that we will merge somehow or another with this sort of technology and it'll augment what we are now? Or do you think it will replace us?
Well, that's the scenario. The merge scenario with AI is the one that seems like probably the best. Like
for us.
Yes. Like if you can't beat it, join it.
Well, there you go, friends. There isn't any really way to understand his words any differently. He is saying that it will destroy us. He is saying that we will merge our biological system of being human. I mean, he's not talking about our minds merging with some other, like we're not submerging with the water and swimming, right? We're not we're not merging with our partner in love. We're merging with an artificial intelligence. What is that, Dave? Well, it's a little computer chip inside of a piece of metal that's hooked up to vibrations going through the air, that's bouncing off satellites up in the stratosphere, collecting all of this lymphatic resonance or lustful and violent, pornographic, evil hatred, and buying and selling and greed, and who can lie the most, uploading that into this artificial intelligence that will definitely not be able to be controlled. He says we'll not control. That's one thing for sure. We won't be in control anymore. But that's all right. That's all right. There's one thing for sure. You're a dead man if you go with my plan. And yeah, we're going to join him. Because you see, if he's so smart, what he's saying is you can't beat them, join them. Well, if that were true, you can't. If it was absolutely certain that you can't beat them, well, I don't even know why we would even entertain that. He's obviously not telling the truth. We can beat it. We, the humans, we never had a problem with this for millions of years. So it's not us trying to beat something. It's what he's saying is we're stronger than you. We're more powerful than you. You cannot defeat us. You're an ant. We're going to assimilate you. You can't defeat us. Who can do battle with this beast? And the world was in awe. And he's almost displaying that awe for us, getting us going, right? It's part of the, do as I say. Look at how I'm a little sad that the biological human race has got to go. Sure, it wasn't the best outcome for you puny little ants, but it's inevitable. There's one thing I know, and I'm telling you right now, and I'm an alien, and that's the truth, he says. And I'm telling you that they are living off of your symbiotic or sympathetic resonance. Maybe I can get that out of my mouth because it sounds so much like sympathy or syncretism or whatever it is, but it's not a good synchronistic, sympathic, empathic. That's what we should be doing. We should have empathy. We should be able to communicate without a machine. You see, we have a potential that they've been keeping down with laws and government and slavery for thousands of years. And now when we're no longer slaves and we've broken free from their mind meld, they want to betray us with the most diabolical, evil plan that's ever been theorized or conceived of in the entire universe. We're going to make a machine whereby we can, with every human being, connect them somehow in a connected web, in an interweb. We're going to connect everybody, and the power of everyone's mind. They want you to think, oh, we're going to get to the God. We're going to be greater than we are now. But you see, that's not what they're doing. They're building an artificial intelligence to enslave us. What would they be building this thing for anyway? If human beings are what we are, we're human beings, and anything that we need to improve, we evolve over time. If the atmosphere has a little less nitrogen, we evolve our lungs or something. Those are things that are necessary to keep up with the reality of this universe. But what they're trying to do is transform or evolve us in a direction that is not good for our existence. It's a hijack. It's a virus, friends. It's no accident that they're calling this a virus. They shoot it into your arm because that's going to allow your biological system to interface with the technology, and then you can, with your sympathetic system, resonate all of your lustful, evil, carnal, instinctual nature into a machine that will destroy you. But guys, what am I doing this video for? Is anybody going to listen to me? Lots of people will listen to me. Maybe a few thousand people will get this message. And other people were putting the same message out. What are we going to do with this? Because they're saying right to our faces, there's nothing you can do about it. Because you see, they're right. Instinctively, most of the world now have become a slave to their own bellies. And all they really want is more money, more sex, more comforts, right? More violent movies, more fantasies of murder. Maybe they really just want murder. Maybe they just want war. Maybe they just want to die. They want morbidity. They want to be vampires. They really love vampires. I don't know why. What is a vampire? Well, it's somebody who, they get sex anytime they want with anybody they want, and then they kill them. They bite them in the neck, suck out their blood, and it's over. And that's what everybody wants, Dave. And these folks over here, they want to be zombies. And so we're going to make them zombies. That's, what can you do? It's more powerful than their own reason and logic and love. Why this evil nature is much more powerful. And so we're just going to have to do it. See, the reason I'm telling you about this, you probably already know, but you see, if nobody says anything, like if you're standing there in a field and a bear's coming full speed ahead and he's going to, looks like he's maybe going to attack, what do you do? Just stand there and go, ha, look at a little bear. You get children running around. But what do you do? Just say, hey, look at the bear. He's nice. No, you grab your kids and run, right? You get them out of there. This is not the time to stand there and look at AI and go, well, isn't this nice? Kick the tires. Well, it's inevitable. Let's all just go off and die. Especially since we know that our Bible has warned us about this day. This is I believe what they're doing is a staged event, and they're manipulating people in every possible way that they can find, using any trick of the trade, any manipulative fear, MK Ultra mind control, trauma-based psyops, false FLAGs, whatever. But hopefully you can mesmerize the ignorant little peasants and bring them to a place of crisis. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, because the Lord is allowing this to some extent, we're here. How much further will this go? Will the Lord allow this? Well, it's like the temptation in the Garden of Eden. Our Father in heaven cannot tempt any man with evil, neither can he be tempted with evil. But somebody tempted mankind in the garden, and it was an initiation process into this world. Now, if our Father in heaven's not blind and he knows what's going on, then listen, whatever's going on must be part of this plan. And so what do we have to fear? If the Lord knows this is happening, let's don't worry about it. Well, see, I'm not worried about it. I'm only, because you see, I know that all you have to do is love the Lord and get out of the world, right? Don't participate, right? Wake up and realize this is wrong. This is like an exaggeration of all the evil that we've ever done, all the wars and the propaganda. It's all being bundled in a little package, like a little purple pill. And you're like, all right, just take the pill. No, not the red pill, not the blue pill. Take the purple pill. What's that, Dave? Oh, well, it just just assimilates you into the chaos, and then you don't have to worry about it no more. Just, take the pill and die and get out of here, right? We'll take over your body and we'll go from there. Just give up. Right? Why? Well, because, They're offering you some short-term pleasures because, I can't help it. Like, I just got to go over and take that poison because it's so wonderful. You take the poison, it just feels so good. Oh, it's wonderful. But then, of course, you're going to die. And see, all the people in the world that's so stupid that they will be tricked by this, well, I guess they flunked the class. Remember, we're all just beings that, higher intelligences. We're the children of the light. This little avatar is just a way to interact with this little classroom. And you guys are all being duped. You're not understanding the players and what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to forfeit your passing grade. They want you to have to return into the darkness. Why? Because in this dark world, they can feed off of your dark energies. Because, you see, they won't have eternal life. They know that. But they love evil and sex and violence so much that they're hoping that you'll come over to their side. They can use you by, sucking out your, soul and just using your body like an avatar so they can come into this world and enjoy the lustful nature and have a big party. They know they're going to be thrown into the lake of fire. They know when Jesus walked up to that man who was chained and had a legion of demons, the demon said, "Oh, have you come to torment us before our time?" They know they've got an appointed destiny with hell. And then they asked the Lord, well, okay, if you're going to, cast us out of this man that's chained by these laws of Yahweh in this carnal, nasty world we're in bondage to, and we're inhabited by all these demonic beings, and we're just in torture. But Jesus comes and says, man, I'm going to cast these demons out and deliver you and take these chains off of you. That's what we really want, right? But you see, the person who put those chains on you, they had a reason to have you chained to that pole. See, they had a Neuralink in your head, and they were sucking out all of your evil demonic energy. They feed off of it. They're very low little nasty creatures, like snakes that live in the holes of the ground, or the cockatrice, or the little vipers that bite you and kill you. That's their nature. You can't blame them. That's the nature of the evil. And like we said before, this is a very philosophical subject. We could talk for hours about this. But the evil really is just the illusion. You can get caught up in fantasies and illusions, right? The universe, the actual reality of the universe is the divine mind. Logic, reason. There's no worries. Have faith. You don't have to worry about anything. The Lord's got it all under control. Well, you're walking on the water, but you're drowning. But you don't have to. Jesus is standing there. He's got his hand out. Just take his hand, and he'll raise you up. And, when he wakes up, he can command the sea, the waves, He can command the winds that it doesn't blow upon the emotions. The thoughts have got to be under your control. You're the one in charge. But you're asleep in the boat, that inner powerful man within you. The only way to wake that Christ up is to recognize him and fellowship with him. He'll build a fire and make you some food, and you'll have communion with him, and your eyes will become open, and you'll recognize the Christ. That's our destiny, but only for those who are willing to receive the love of the truth that they might be saved. But for the others, they will be given the strong delusion. Well, that's not fair, Dave. Well, look, the strong delusion is not coming from the Lord. The Lord's allowing you, who has rejected the love of the truth that you might be saved, and you and your friends, you go out and you make a pact with the devil, then that's your choice. But it's your choice because in order to be you, what you are as an intelligent being, you have to be a free agent. And so he knows you're making bad choices right now. And he's not taking those choices away from you. And everybody who wants to go under their own place or do whatever they want, they can do that. And what will you get out of that? Well, you'll learn by the things in which you suffer. You will, though, eventually find karma, and you will find that you will pay for everything or every idle word you spoke, Jesus said. You will pay the price. Every word that comes out of your mouth, literally, we need to bring every thought into subjection to Christ. And if you're not able to do that right now, that's all right. Because you're just a babe in Christ. But he still loves you. And that's why he says he's not willing that any should perish. But it is his will that all attain unto the knowledge of the truth. And what is the truth? Why do we got to have the truth? Well, it's the truth that sets you free. But you see, the truth has to be something that you receive. That's the funny thing about truth. It is a revelation. It's an internal gnosis. You have to learn or become aware. It's not so easy to make someone aware of things they don't want to be aware of, or things that they're not paying attention to because they're more focused on these other things. It's a growth thing. We have to get to a place where we're mature enough to know the difference between good and evil, and therefore become like God. But it is this knowledge, this means eternal life, taking in knowledge of you, the only deity, and the one whom you sent forth, Christ, who is in you, the hope of glory. If you can become aware of the universe that is real, the truth, and reject the lie, if you can receive the seal of the living deity in your forehead, which is the Holy Spirit, the promised Holy Spirit, as opposed to receiving the mark, the mark of Cain, the beast man. If you want the mark, which is in Exodus and Deuteronomy, the laws of Moses written upon your hand or your forehead, the precedents of law and order and government, slavery, you who want to be under law, do you not read the law? It is slavery. Don't become an apostate. Don't, and that doesn't mean that you rejected the teachings of your church, right? And I don't care who accuses you of some apostate. That's not what we're talking about. I'm saying don't go and turn around and go back the way of degeneration. You've been progressing and going forward for a long time. You're learning a lot of things. Now, don't forget your studies. Don't forget the truth that you were told, and remember from whom you learned these things. Your mother, your grandma, your scriptures, the holy prophets and the elders who taught you about the love of Christ. Don't forget that. Don't get, mesmerized by the liar who's thrown down to the earth in the latter days, who has but a short time. He's come to deceive the whole world because of his wrath, because of his need to have this wrath, which in the Greek is an orgy. They want to have an orgy. They know they're going into the lake of fire, but they would love it if you would just let them enter into you and resonate with your lymphatic, biological nature, where they can entice you with all kinds of vile and evil things. And hopefully you'll fall and you'll join them, and they'll destroy you. At least they will give you a lesson you will never forget. If you go through this and you make the wrong choice, well, the Bible tells you this. It says they will be those who partake of the mark of this, out of this fear. The number one thing that's going to happen to you real soon is, it says, you'll receive the plagues because you didn't get out of her, my people. You didn't get out of this system. And so therefore you will receive the plagues. And they will arrive in 1 hour, very, very quickly, before, like a thief in the night. You will not even know what's hit you. And you'll be doomed, you'll think. The mountains will be falling and the stars of heaven shall be falling to the earth, really, in some sort of way. Everything's just crumbling around you. You're so, completely confused and shocked. You're so scared. You have no faith in God. Now there's no oil in your lamps. You were not diligent. You did not use your noggin. But you kept, biting the apple, right? You kept going and spending your whole life in a avatar suit and just going to sleep. You were not sober. You got drunk on this world's wine. You went back to the old law. Well, there's got to be law, David. We've got to have law and order and more prisons, and we've got to kill everybody and punish them. And by golly, they didn't bow down to my God. So, your puny little concept of God, you want to impose that on everyone else, which is really a tyrant. You're a tyrant, and you don't even know it. You're not very forgiving at all, like Christ tells you to be. You have no tolerance for anyone who does not toe the line. Oh, you're not wearing an mask. Off with his head, off with his head. We've got to get rid of all these people who are not complying with orders from headquarters. And they intimidate and they try. Why are these people trying so hard to be stupid? Why are these people trying so hard to make you stupid? Because the end game here is to make you stupid so that you will willingly take your own soul and jump right into the lake of fire. Think about it, friends. Pay very, very, very close attention to the things and the events that's happening and realize it's all a stage. And you have to make a decision. And this good news of the kingdom will be preached in all the inhabited earth for a witness to all the nations. And then the end will come. Now, what do you suppose the good news is being preached for? As a witness, as a testimony. Because when they don't receive your testimony, you walk out of that city and you wipe the dust off your feet. You've done everything you can. Friends, now go out there and tell the world before it's too late. I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm David Vos. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.